Hi everyone. Today I am here with the topic refraction through lenses. So we know that how refraction happens in the case of prism and glass slab. In this section we are going to see how refraction happens in the case of lens. What is a lens? Lens is also a refracting surface bounded by either two spherical surface or one spherical surface and one plane surface. We can divide the lenses into two categories, concave lens and convex lens. We will see in detail. First one, convex lens. So if you see the convex lens, the design of the convex lens is like this way. The middle part is bulged or thick and the periphery part or the edges are thin in size. These kind of lenses we used to call it as convex lens. And it's having an ability to converge the light rays. So we used to call it another name, it as converging lens. Convex lens is called converging lens because the light rays, when it passes through this one, it will converge to a particular point. So for this one, the middle portion is thick or bulged and the periphery portions are thin in size. We have three kinds of convex lenses. So first one, equiconcave or biconcave. That means both sides having the same shape. Both are bulged outward. So we used to call it as equiconvex or biconvex. And our next category is plano-convex. Plano-convex. That category, the shape of the plano-convex is one side is convex and other side is exactly a plane. This is called plano-convex lens. And our third category is concavo-convex. Concavo-convex. So one side is convex and other side is like a concave lens. So if you see the shape, the middle portion is bulged. So that is a category of concavo-convex lens. So we have three lenses in the case of convex lenses. First one, equiconcave or biconvex. Then concavo-convex and plano-convex. Same way we have concave lenses. Second one we have concave lens. Concave lens. Cave, we know the meaning of cave. So if we draw the shape of a concave lens, both sides like a cave. It is inward inside. It is inward inside. So if you see the size of the middle portion and the side portion, here the middle portion is thin in size. If you see the periphery, it is thick in size. That is the difference between the concave and convex lens. For convex lens, middle portion is bulged one and the peripheries are thin. Here the middle portion is thin and the peripheries are thick in size. Same way how we divided or categorized the convex lens, same way we can categorize the concave lens. So this size or this shape lens we used to call it as equiconcave or biconcave lenses. Same way we have plano-concave lens. Plano-concave. One side is like a cave lens and other side is exactly a plane surface. This is called plano-concave. And the last category is convexo-concave. Convexo-concave. So here this category is, first side is concave and this side is bulged like this way. So if you see the thickness, the inside thickness is less comparing with the convex or concave lens. These are the three categories of concave and convex lenses. And this lens is having another name called diverging lens. Diverging lens, it diverges the rays which passes over here. These are the two categories of lenses and the subcategories as in the case of concave and convex lens. Now we will see how this concave or convex lens behave like a converging or diverging action. So we are going to divide the lenses into different ways. Just see, or we can tell that lens is a combination of prism and glass slab. I'll show how it is. Consider this is a convex lens. Okay. So I'm going to do it as a combination of prism and the middle portion is of glass slab. Exactly a glass slab. When it comes over here, again another prism, and it's not completed but still it behaves like a prism. So this is the way we can divide the lens into the combination of prism and glass slab. So when we keep all these things together, we will get a single piece of lens. And we know that as in the case of prism, when the light rays enter over here, it bends towards the normal. Okay, it bends towards the normal. Here also, when the light passes over here, it bends towards the base. Okay, bend towards the normal, or finally we can tell that always the light rays will bend towards the base of the prism. Here also, when light rays are coming here, slowly it bend towards the base. Here also bend towards the base. And we know that if any ray goes perpendicular to this glass slab, it goes undeviated. So this is actually what happens in the case of lens, convex lens. Here it bent towards the base. This is the base of the first prism. This is the base of the first prism. This goes undeviated. This one actually it's upside down. So this is the base. It bent towards the base. For this one also, this is the base. It bent towards the base. So all the rays will be converging to a point. So we used to call it as converging. Actually, this combination of prism and the glass slab will give the quality of converging action. Now we will see how it works in the case of concave lens. So concave lens, this is the shape of the concave lens. This one also I am going to break it or going to show it as a combination of prism. So this is our first prism. There is a gap. Middle one is glass slab. This one is another prism and this is a last prism. Okay. So here the middle line will go undeviated, and this is the base of this prism. When the light enters over here, it bend towards the base. For here also, it goes like this way. It bends like this way. For this one, these are the bases. For here, slowly come down, goes like this way. For this one, comes like this way. So it shows a diverging action. So both concave and convex lens, like a combination of prism and glass slab, this is the way how it converges and diverges the rays. Now we'll see the terms related with the concave and convex mirror. Common terms we are using to represent. First one, center of curvature. We are familiar with these words in the case of mirrors. So same kind of words we have, but the definitions are having slight difference. So first one is center of curvature. We know that mirror is a part both of two spherical surfaces, so spherical mirrors or figures. So if this is a convex lens, if we complete this surface, we will get a circle, and same way we can even complete the other surface, right? So both spherical surface is part of two different spheres. So center of curvature means center of the sphere which lens is a part. So here we will get two center. Here we have one center and here we have another center. If it is made up of equiconvex lens or equal size spheres part, this center of curvature will be common for both sides, or depends upon the variation, it may vary. But here in this chapter we are going to deal with equiconvex or equiconcave lenses. So center of curvature means for this one, and for concave, here one center, same way here also another center, C1 and C2. So center of curvature is the center of the sphere which the lens is a part. Same way, another second terms we have radius of curvature. Second one is radius of curvature. Same way, the radius of the sphere which the lens is a part, R1, R2. If it is equal size spheres, the both radius R1 and R2 will be equal, or depends upon the size, it may vary. Our third term is principal axis. Principal axis means the line which is joining both center of curvature of the sphere is called principal axis. Third one is principal axis. The line which is passing through both centers is called principal axis. The line which is passing through both centers is called principal axis. Now we have another term, optic center or optical center. Fourth term is optic center. Optic center is a point inside the lens. If a light ray is passing through that point, it will go undeviated. So if this is a convex lens, we know that if any ray go like this way, it go undeviated because the middle part is like a glass slab. If any ray, if this is the optic center, the ray which goes inside will be having slight variation, then it goes. Or if it is a thin lens, we feel like the ray which goes undeviated. The point inside the lens through which the incident ray goes undeviated is called optic center. So this is the optic center for concave lens. This is a point through which whichever the rays goes, if the ray go like this way, if the ray go like this way, it goes undeviated. The point on the or inside the lens through which the ray goes undeviated is called optic center. Our next term is principal foci. Our next term is principal foci. We know that for a lens, we have the light can enter from both sides. So they will be having two principal foci, or else we will have two set of focal point. We'll see how we can define the focal point. First focal point and second focal point will be there. First we will define what is first focus point or focal point. So we used to represent this with the letter 1. As in the case of convex lens, it is a point on the principal axis. It is a point on the principal axis. From that point, the light rays emerges. It is a principal, first focal length is a point on the principal axis. From there, the light rays emerges, and after the refraction, it will go parallel to the principal axis. So this is the first focal point as in the case of convex lens. And in the case of concave lens, after the refraction, the rays after the refraction appears to meet at a point. After the refraction, the rays appears to meet at a point. This is called the first focal point or focal length or first principal foci of the concave and convex lens. So for this convex lens, the first focal point is on the left side, and for concave lens, it is on the right side. And if we see both cases, after the refraction, both cases, the rays are parallel to the principal axis. After the refraction or after passing through the lens, both are parallel to the principal axis. For convex lens, it is on the left side and it's emerging from a point. It appears to emerge from a point, and here it appears to meet after the refraction. Now we will see what is the second focal point. So second focal point for convex lens will mark the principal axis. So after the refraction, the light rays, after the refraction, it meet at a point on the principal axis. After the refraction, the rays are meeting on the point on the principal axis. That is called second focal point. Okay. After the refraction, it meets on the point. And in the case of concave lens, after the refraction, both cases here, the incident rays are parallel to the principal axis. So after the refraction, the light rays are diverging. So it appears to diverge or appears to start from a point. So here the second focal point is on the left side, and for convex mirror it's on the right side. So here it appears to diverge from a point for the concave lens, and here it diverges or converges to a point. For this one on the right side, and for the concave lens on the left side. So here for the first case, after the refraction, both cases the rays are parallel to the principal axis, and for the second focal point, the incident rays are parallel to the principal axis. So these are the two set of principal foci as in the case of concave and convex lens. And always we cannot tell that the rays will be always parallel to the principal axis. Sometimes it can come from any direction. So focal point, we used to consider it as focal plane. Focal plane means a perpendicular drawn or through the focus. For all the cases, simply focus means we used to consider the second focus. Simply focus means we used to consider the second focus. So first focal point or second plane, whatever it is. So focal plane is the plane which is passing through the focus point, and that will be perpendicular to the principal axis. Okay, focal plane means it is passing through the focus, and that will be perpendicular. It will make a normal to the principal axis. So if the rays are coming through this way, it can converge, or I'll show how it is. The rays are not parallel, like parallel to the principal axis. It came from any other direction. So if the rays are coming like this way, so what happens? After that, it converges to a point on this plane. It will be anywhere on this plane. So we can consider that first focal plane, second focal plane. So that is actually what we call focal plane and focus. And focal length. What is focal length? The distance between the optic center to the focal point. Second focus, we used to consider it as focal length. The distance between the optic center to the second focus is called focal length, and it's represented by the letter F. Okay. And we know that some cases the focal length or focus point, focal length depends upon two factors. First one, the refractive index of the medium. Okay. So focal length depends upon two factors. First one, refractive index of the medium. We know that as the refractive index increases, the focal length also increases. In air, just consider the focal length is 10 centimeter. When we are keeping the same lens inside the water, we know that comparing with the air, the refractive index of water is more. So automatically the focal length will increase according to the change in refractive index. So refractive index and focal length is directly proportional. We can tell that refractive index and the focal length is directly proportional. Same way, second factor is thickness of the lens. Okay, thickness of lens. If we have thick lens, less focal length. If you have thin lens, it shows a higher focal length. So if you are getting a small thick lens, it is having less focal length, and if it is thin, it is having more focal length, or both are inversely proportional. If I represent the thickness as T, simply it's not represented like that. Okay, I'll use a small letter T. We can tell that the focal length and the thickness is inversely proportional to each other. So these are the factors which depends upon the focal length. And another way, how when we are drawing a figure, how can we represent the refraction? Okay, I'll show that. If this is a convex lens, we know that we have two surfaces here, right? The prism, glass slab, we used to show what happens on the first surface, what happens on the second surface. Same way we can also show here. Just consider this is a first surface. Okay. So on this first surface, the first set of refraction is happening, right? So it comes bent towards the base. Now it came to the another surface, denser medium to rarer medium. Again it goes like this way. But for our convenience, we never use here. We have to show three set of lines. Okay, we have to show three set of lines. But conveniently, we used to represent in such a manner that till the midpoint, we will show like a single line. Okay, somewhat middle. We are not showing the inside bending. We are not exactly showing the inside bending. Instead of that, till here, like midpoint, we will show the same line. And from here, the next line. Only two set of bending we are showing. Okay, we are not showing the in-between deviation. And same way in the case of concave lens. Normally, it has to come over here. It bent here. Again, it bent away. For three different rays we have to show. Here also, instead of this one, we used to show till the middle. Then from here, a single ray. This is the way how we used to represent while drawing the ray diagrams. Thank you.